Welcome to a new episode of Sustainable Sense. Climate change is no longer some far off catastrophe. It's knocking on our doorstep, and it's high time we answer. But how do we tackle this beast of a problem? Well, we've got a twofold challenge on our hands: adapt to climate change or address the root causes. It's a debate that's been sparking fires for years, and we're here to shed some light on it. So get ready and get your ice pack, because it's going to be one hot topic. Welcome to Sustainable Sense, where we invest in climate defense. You're in for our hot take on all things money, markets, and the environment. As we hit our 5-month anniversary, I know it's already here, we'll be getting deeper into the guts and gore of the climate crisis and economic catastrophes. In the coming episodes, we have a series where we'll be talking about whether we adapt to or address climate change. We have industry interviews, student opinions, and more, so stay tuned. Just so you're prepared for our future smackdowns, let me give you the deets on adapting and addressing the climate change. First off, let's talk about mitigation, the heavyweight champion in the climate ring. It's all about hitting the root causes where it hurts, not just maneuvering around the problem. If we don't tackle these underlying problems, the impacts of climate change will keep coming at us like a heavyweight boxer with no end in sight. For you athletes out there, this would be offense and not defense. So, what's the game plan? We got transitioning to renewable energy sources, cutting down on deforestation, and embracing energy efficient practices. Think of it as reducing those greenhouse gas emissions: carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. And guess what? There's no need to look too far for some super cool initiatives right here in the US. Ever heard of the colossal wind farms in the heart of Texas and Iowa? They're popping up like wildflowers, and they're contributing to a massive reduction in carbon emissions. We're talking about vast stretches of land transformed into clean energy generators. Now, isn't that a breath of fresh air? See what I did there? Personally, I would love to start my own wind farm in the future. And that's not all. We've got the Clean Power Plan, now known as the Clean Energy Plan, setting its sight on power plant emissions. It's paving the way for a transition to cleaner energy sources, a critical step in the battle against climate change. And it's not just in the US. The European Union is leading the change with sustainable finance and investments. The EU Sustainable Finance Action Plan encourages the private sector to jump on board with green initiatives, making sustainability a financial priority. Also, urban farming and vertical agriculture are emerging as innovative ways to reduce food miles, improve urban security, and cut emissions associated with food transportation. Several European countries have implemented carbon pricing mechanisms, including carbon taxes and cap and trade systems to incentivize businesses to reduce their emissions. Here in the US, we also have the Carbon Dividend Act circulating around, which many lobby organizations such as Citizens Climate Lobby are advocating for. Europe is also focusing on reducing waste generation and increasing recycling rates. Some countries like Sweden have adopted waste-to-energy facilities to turn waste into energy, and that's pretty cool. These are just a few examples of mitigation strategies happening across the globe. Now let's switch gears and address the other competitor in the ring: adaptation. Adapting means we're suiting up to reduce the negative impacts of climate change. This is essentially defense. So why are some experts even backing up this play? Because even with our mitigation efforts, some level of climate change is already in the pipeline due to our past emissions and history. But there is hope, so don't worry. Adaptation includes building resilient infrastructure, building stronger power grids, developing early warning systems, and adjusting agricultural practices to the ever-changing climate. And right here in the US, we've got some remarkable examples. Think New York City gearing up for hurricane resilience. Flood barriers, elevated buildings, and advanced stormwater management systems are all about making the city stronger in the face of adversity. In drought-prone California, they're taking measures to secure their water future. Water conservation regulations and cutting-edge desalination plants are the name of the game. It's a lesson in resilience, if you ask me. And how about the City of Angels, Los Angeles? They're attempting to reduce their hot problem by painting the streets grayish-white with Cool Seal. It helps reflect solar rays off asphalt, reducing heat absorption. Now that's cool on many levels. And let's not forget those drought-resistant crop varieties making a splash in several states. In the southern and midwestern regions of the US, where water scarcity and drought are no strangers, these innovative crops are the stars of the show. European countries are also developing and implementing climate adaptation plans. These plans include measures to address risks associated with increased temperatures, changing precipitation patterns, and more frequent extreme weather events. Many European countries are also investing in flood defenses and resilient infrastructure to prepare for increased flood risks. The Netherlands, in particular, has a long history of dealing with water management. They're also known for their innovative approach to flood protection. And Europe is investing in more efficient water management, water recycling, and sustainable water use practices to adapt to water scarcity and drought. This is definitely something that other countries can take note of. Agriculture is a vital sector in Europe, if you couldn't tell, and climate change poses risks to this. Adaptation strategies include crop diversification, using drought resistant crop varieties, and precision agriculture techniques. European cities are encouraging the use of public transportation, cycling, and electric vehicles to reduce emissions and improve air quality, which can worsen with higher temperatures for sure. Again, these are just a few examples of how different countries are adapting to climate change, and let's take note of those. It's clear that both mitigation and adaptation are a dynamic duo in the battle against climate change. It's not just about reducing emissions, but also gearing up for what's already on its way. But here's where you, our dear listeners, come into play. We want to hear from you. Do you know of any local initiatives deserving a shout out? Reach out to us on social media, and your story might just make it onto our next episode. That's a wrap for today, but we're not done just yet. From the bustling cities along the Great Lakes to the sunny shores of Florida, from the US to Australia, cities and states worldwide are taking a stand against climate change. But we're not satisfied with just the big players. We want to hear about the unsung heroes in your community. Have you noticed remarkable adaptation efforts right in your backyard? Share your stories and experiences with us, and together we can inspire even more change. Just tag us on Instagram at Sustainable Sense Podcast and use the hashtag Sustainable Sense Podcast. Connect with us on Instagram or drop us an email at sustainablesensepodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's sustainablesensepodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Sustainable Sense. Remember, change starts with you. And stay tuned, because in our next episodes, we're going to hear from expert educators in the fields of environmental science and economics, with some special student voices along the way. So until then, invest your sense in climate defense.